Welcome back, True Seeker. September 7th, 2018. This is the third video I have produced on the death of Mac Miller at age 26. His death is being blamed on an overdose, and that's the detail in the story I want to focus on in this video. He just released his fifth studio album, Swimming, August 3rd, 2018, and his death comes 35 days later. In the language of Gematria, known as the killing language to the band Slipknot, look up the song Gematria, the killing name. Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. Also, look up the song Murder by Numbers by the Police that came out in '83. The word murder equals 83, kind of like how this album was released on August 3rd. Anyhow, from the release of that album to his death is 35 days later, and it's being blamed on an OD, or an overdose. Starting with the abbreviation OD, it has gematria of 35. And less than a week ago, I just produced a video on Svengali. Svengali means a person who with evil intent dominates, manipulates, and controls a creative person such as a singer or an actor or an entertainer. And Svengali has been illustrated as a person with a spider-like body. And I just want you to see that in Gematria, the word spider sums to 35. These are in the base ciphers of the English language of Gematria, based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. And in the years that I've been teaching about this, I've shown how news events, from celebrity deaths, sports, they are interconnected rituals. They are a web of rituals. It's not arbitrary that this concept of Svengali involves a spider and a web, because that's exactly what this is. It's like how if you've been following my channel, I've been talking an awful lot about the number 26 in recent days. I said, watch the football game tomorrow night. It's going to be all about the number 26. It was. That wraps up. Then there's a story about Elon Musk smoking weed with Joe Rogan. Musk 26, Rogan 26. The episode comes 26 days after Rogan's birthday, plus a whole lot more. I say, here's another example of 26. We just got done talking about the death of Aretha Franklin, which had everything to do with 26, and which Ariana Grande became a part of. Mac Miller and Ariana Grande have a lot in common. They're exes. They just broke up this year. This album, Swimming, has songs dedicated to Ariana Grande. So that's going to be the next part we get into with this OD thing. But real quick, I just want to show you what happened with Aretha Franklin. Understand, Svengali equals 35, Satan equals 35, Baphomet equals 35. The day Aretha Franklin died, the other top news story that day was the unveiling of the Baphomet by the Satanic Church in Arkansas at the state courthouse where the statue of the Ten Commandments is. Same day, August 16th, same day Aretha passed. And Aretha died on the same day as Elvis in history. Elvis was born in 35. When Elvis died August 16th, 1977, Aretha was 35 years old. Aretha would die 41 years later at the age of 76 on the same day. Date that has a lot to do with death, as we talked about. If you've missed my playlist on the death of Aretha Franklin, there's a lot of content. Aretha Franklin was the queen of soul. She died on the birthday of Madonna, the queen of pop. She died on the anniversary of Elvis, the king. And just before her death, Nicki Minaj released the album Queen. And notice Nicki Minaj is 35 years old. That album came out August 10th. It came out exactly 35 weeks after Nicki Minaj's 35th birthday. Svengali, a web of events, interconnected, evil people manipulating. You see? This thing with Mac Miller is just a continuation of all these other events, the spider web. Then Madonna goes on at the VMAs, the 35th VMAs, and gives a tribute to Aretha Franklin. And she starts her speech with how she had $35 in her pocket, out of Michigan, where Aretha passed. Aretha once sang the song Evil Gal Blues, suspicious song name. So, coming back to this overdose thing. Letters and numbers. I just want you to see that Overdose has gematria of 113 like Grande. And 113 is a really special number. It comes from the Talmud. And the Talmud, which non-Jews are not supposed to read, Bava Kama 113a says Jews may use lies to circumvent a Gentile. That means to manipulate somebody who's not Jewish. And to be fair, that passage in that text where that's stated, it says that's only okay in a legal setting. But when you think about it, we live in a world of laws. Everywhere in this world's a legal setting. If you walk in front of my house and trip on my sidewalk, we got a legal problem. This whole world is legal. So pretty much that verse applies to this world that we now live in, where everything is legal. But understand, so many things that have to do with dishonesty sum to 113. Mainstream, dishonest, not true, not honest, not factual, disinfo, politics, perjury, fiction, bullshit, infidelity equals 113, divorce 113, and more. There's an even longer list. But it's a number of deception. And over the years, so many people have been murdered in the entertainment industry and had their deaths blamed on overdoses. Covered this so many times. In my book, Letters and Numbers, the longest chapter, Murder by Numbers, I show how all these dead musicians over the years blamed on overdose, they were all ritualistically killed by the same code Mac Miller's died by today. With regards to 113 having to do with lying, consider that Mac Miller is 26 years old. He's 26, and his cause of death is no doubt a lie. Now understand, he has this relationship with Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande is a Kabbalist. Kabbalah has the core belief that God created the world by merging the number with the letter with the sound. And the English alphabet's 26 letters. Using the alphabetic order, God is G-O-D. That's the 7th letter, the 15th letter, the 4th letter. 7 plus 15 plus 4, 26. In Hebrew and in English, the 4-letter name of God sums to 26 in the base ciphers. Just did a video on this less than a week ago. Look for the video that says YHWH in the thumbnail. It'll blow your mind. How well thought out the English language is, how it pays tribute to Hebrew, where this original code of letters and numbers in Kabbalah comes from. But letters 26, that's when you take the alphabetic order and the rules of numerology. The word sound equals 26 when you flip the alphabetic order around and use the rules of numerology. Covered this in the... If you want to know what I'm saying more clearly, watch the first video I did on the death of Mac Miller. I teach you all 4 ciphers. And I teach it again and again throughout videos because most people who come here are not familiar with this. This is foreign to them. But look at this. With regards to Kabbalah, Mac Miller, he recently, I guess, let everything out of his heart to let Ariana Grande know how much he loved her and wanted to be with her, and he called her the divine feminine. Now that's terminology that comes from Kabbalah. And consider Mac Miller was Jewish. Kabbalah is largely accredited to the Jewish faith. It's been largely adopted into Jewish spirituality. It's connected to the Old Testament, the Jewish portion of the Bible. And you know what? The word Kabbalah with the alphabetic order sums to 38, just like Jew. His last album did come out August 3rd, a date that can be written 3/8, like 38. In Hebrew, with the alphabetic order in Hebrew, the word Kabbalah sums to 38 as well. This is all Kabbalah right here. Kabbalah. All of these people trolling me in the comments saying this is crazy and, this is a bunch of BS. You guys are calling something crazy that you don't understand because it's new to you. But this is thousands of years old. It's way older than any of us. It's been in this world all this time. It's a secret to most people. You learn it, it's very logical. And there's a reason for all the numbers. And if you want to know more about it, please read my book. I break it all down. I teach you what the numbers represent, why they're used. It's a lot to explain. It's why the book's 773 pages. But anyway, the divine feminine, this terminology Mac Miller uses when talking about Ariana Grande. Understand, the whole thing is a Kabbalah ritual. Mac Miller got his break with Ariana Grande's song The Way. This is how he got big. This is what I've learned. The Way, 26. Dead at 26. Remember, Ariana Grande, she was just a big part of the Aretha funeral. Aretha's death had everything to do with 26. Aretha died on a date with 26 numerology. Aretha equals 26, Madonna 26, Queen 26, Ariana 26. in the Chaldean cipher, Mac Miller and rapper 26. From his birthday, Mac Miller was born Malcolm James McCormick. Again, from his birthday, January 19th, 2018 is 26th, to the day he died, 231 days later. Ariana Grande in the base cipher, when you flip the alphabetic order around, 231. See? You see? His full name in Gematria 79, dead on September 7th. Murder by numbers, the word murder 79. I don't want to be too redundant. I covered this in the other videos. Something I did overlook, and something I've taught about for years, is the numbers 93 and 54 come together in these murder rituals a lot. Ariana Grande equals 93. Today's date, September 7th, 2018, it's a date with 54 numerology. Where 93 and 54 gain their significance is through the occult religion Thelema, created by Aleister Crowley, who was a practitioner of Kabbalah and Gematria and this code of letters and numbers. Aleister Crowley, in his religion Thelema, 93 represents love. 93 represents love. You say hello and goodbye in Thelema by saying 93. What's interesting is in English, with the alphabetic order and the reverse alphabetic order, love equals 54. And we always find 54 and 93 together. Also, the other relationship with 93 and 54, with the alphabetic order, S-U-N, the sun in the sky, 19 plus 21 plus 14, S-U-N, 54. They say the sun's 93 million miles away. The sun, God's one and only son, God's love, the thing that makes life possible. So all the things we've talked about for all these years, the rituals are all in place. Again, he's died 73 days after Ariana Grande's birthday, which is on the 26th day of the month. Miss 26. 73, sacrifice, ritual sacrifice, 73. And to talk about something that we haven't so far, they broke up on May 10th. That was the day that they publicly broke up. Looked this up in a few sources. From May 10th to the death today, September 7th, is 120 days later. Now this number is specific to the word Illuminati. Illuminati means in the light. Freemasonry is the pursuit of light. People who exit Freemasonry at the top say, I got out of it because at the top I found out it was all Luciferian. It was all satanic. I didn't want to be a part of it once I found out. And understand this code of letters and numbers is very important to Masonry. And if you think Illuminati is a joke, well, you must have missed my video on the death of Kofi Annan at the age of 80, which just happened August 18th. Kofi Annan, head of the UN, dead at 80. His full name, Kofi Ada Annan, sums to 80. He won the Nobel Peace Prize 80, and the day he got the Nobel Peace Prize was October 12th, 2001. October 12th is the day leaving 80 days left in the year. Now look, he died August 18th, 18/8, like 188. Look at Bavarian Illuminati with the alphabetic order, 188. Bavarian Illuminati with the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, 80. And if you think the Illuminati is a joke, look up the Bavarian Illuminati, established May 1st, 1776, just before the American Revolution, founded with 13 families, like the 13 colonies and 13 stripes. Bavarian Illuminati, 188. Look at the dollar bill that has Masonic/Illuminati symbolism all over it. Look at all the dollar bill denominations. The 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, the 100. Add up those denominations, it sums to 188. Another number used ritualistically. So, these rituals go on all the time. You want to be famous in this world, you're going to go out by the code. And that's what everyone needs to know. All these young people in this world striving to be entertainers, they want to be on the big stage. You could be the next Mac Miller, You could have your life cut short right when you're getting started. He's not the first and he's not the last. A lot of young musicians have died at age 26. Again, my book, Letters and Numbers, 773 pages long. The longest chapter is Murder by Numbers, over 150 pages. A lot of musicians been killed at age 26. Otis Redding, I believe Nick Drake, whole lot more. As we covered The word kill also connects to 26 in the first video. So making a playlist on this young man's death because it's a shining example of what I've been teaching all these years and how Kabbalah is the key to understanding what's going on. Kabbalah is supposed to be about spiritual ascension, but there is also a second half to it, which is about evil, and it's about hurting people, like Svengali, where we began with the OD and the 35, and this coming right after the Aretha ritual. So we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Until next time.